Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Globe Conquerors Manila. This is, of course, the lower bracket match between IPT and Archangel. We ended that last game with Archangel winning it very decisively at the end, but now this is the second game. We'll be your shoutcaster for that one. I'm Atlas. With me is Chisto.
Yeah, and you did say that Archangel won that decisively in the end, but the road to getting towards the end of the game, that was not decisive at all.
Yeah, very bumpy.
That could have easily been decided by either team. The way that it was super back and forth, each team giving up their own pickoffs, it really swayed the game in a team's favor at a certain point. But in the end, it was IPT fumbling towards the end. It gave Archangel the win. So now they have momentum in this best-of-5 matchup. They're up 1-0. The question heading into Game 2, can IPT bounce back?
Yeah, definitely. They need to be able to adapt to this, because if they lose this one, they lose so much momentum, and then Archangel is at match point. And here, they need to fix a lot of those mistakes. What are those mistakes? They were not showing a lot of respect when face checking, so they were easily punished by Archangel. They were picking fights that they shouldn't have taken. They were very overconfident taking those. A lot of times, they got caught, mostly because they overstayed their welcome in one spot. So if they don't fix that, Archangel can easily exploit that once again.
Yeah, and one more problem that I'd like to point out was during the drafting phase, IPT were happy to constantly pinch the jungle pool, but it seems like they had to settle for a low-tier jungler once they actually finished all of those bans. They had to settle for Udyr or something that isn't the best for competitive play. It did have some positive moments, but ultimately I think Hate, the way that he played that Udyr, led to IPT's downfall during Game 1. Tignan natin, what adjustments can Imperium Pro Team bring into the second drafting phase?
Yeah, so it seems like here they might still go for that really jungle pinch here, but they it seems like it's gonna be the same bans here.
Okay, their last band's gonna be Skarner.
It's probably, but it seems like it's gonna be Morgana for them. Let's see, Archangel, what will they ban for this first rotation? It's gonna be the Olaf. So pretty similar bans here, but here IPT, they pick up their jungler first if they do lock in this corner.
Okay, I like this, that they aren't pinching themselves. Instead, they're pinching the enemy team's jungler. They put such a heavy priority on securing this Skarner for their lineup. Skarner not the S tier jungler at the moment. Still think Graves and Shinzao are the strongest junglers on the current patch, but still does have his positives. You still have that Impale to easily lock down a member and single out a member of Archangel if they do want to do so. Now, Rakan is being layered over this Skarner, so a lot of engage already being secured here by Imperium Pro Team. It signals that they want to start fights.
Yeah, it's gonna be very tricky here for Archangel. So far, what they picked up is Graves and Zoe, not very high escape champions that we see, so that can be easily exploited here by Rakan and the Skarner. Let's see if they do lock in the Kai'Sa once again. They need to be able to play it much better than they did last time, but with Rakan, it should be a lot easier in the laning.
Yeah, now, looking at what Archangel could pick up here, Thresh would be a decent option given that there's a lot of engage on Imperium Pro Team side. Thresh does have a bunch of disengage with a Dark Passage and a lot of CC options to push them back away. We're yet to see the lock in here from Archangel. Yeah, so it is locked in. Now Imperium Pro Team might want to target either the top lane pool of Ivalice or the AD carry pool of Zencho. They will ban away the Fiora of Ivalice.
They don't want to deal with the Ivalice. Archangel doesn't want to deal with the Mundo, because it can get out of control if Ivalice doesn't get ahead against that Mundo. Camille ban out against Ivalice, so not as much carry potential here for Archangel. And yeah, I like the Thresh pick here come from Archangel together with the Ezreals, because it allows for so much safety on the bot side. If if Hate and Shadow go for that gank, the Flay and as well as the hook and the box coming from Coops here is a lot easier to work with.
Shadow is currently hovering over Zed. He is locking in the Zed, so bit of pun play there. But yeah, Zed locked in here for Light in the mid lane against the Zoe.
That's ironic. Light and Shadow.
It's quite ironic. I don't think the Yasuo is going to be the lock in here for Ivalice.
We did see,
maybe you're just being teased.
Yeah, it could be a little tease. We saw this kind of matchup in the LVL, but of course, it's not going to be the case here for the Conquerors. But let's see, it's going to be the Cinch here.
I actually like the Cinch into the Ornn matchup. There are some things that Cinch does very well that Ornn doesn't have an answer to. Cinch can proxy farm, which means farming under the enemy team's tower, and then Ornn can't answer that. Ornn can't stop him and push him away from that. And one more thing that the Singe does do against this Ornn, the W from the Singe has a grounded effect. And if you put it on top of the Ornn when he casts Call of the Forest God, he can't knock it back with the second part because it's considered a dash. So that's one more thing that the Singe can deny from the Ornn here of MJ.
Yeah, if Ivalice plays it right, he could potentially stop a big engage or counter engage coming from IPT with just one well-placed pile of goo coming from that Singed here. But overall, it seems like IPT, they want to go in, they want to pull back Archangel into their territory and then take them out brutally. Of course, this is game 2 of this best of 5 match between IPT and Archangel. Archangel's leading by 1 game here, but let's see if IPT can respond in kind.
Yeah, let's see what Imperium Pro Team can do in this game. We did say during the pick and ban phase that they were layering on their options for engage. There's a lot of ways on IPT's side to start a fight. The question is, can they find these fights against Archangel? The only disengage I see from Archangel is the Thresh. The Ezreal can Arcane Shift away, but aside from that, once IPT finds a catch, they can just layer on the CC over and over onto the members of Archangel.
If IPT plays their cards right, it's going to be very hard for Archangel to get out. As you said, not a lot of escapes here. Even rocks, even with a quick draw, even with a knockback from his collateral damage is not enough. If everyone in IPT just running at them, they have a Shadow here, they have Marky, Light's going to dive in definitely, looking for Zencho or Trevor here. So it's going to be very scary if Archangel is not careful.
Yeah, and we're talking about the win conditions of Imperium Pro Team here. Let's go ahead and talk about the other side's win conditions. Archangel, there's a lot of poke coming out of both Zencho and Trevor on their champions. And there's a lot of pick potential as well.
Might be in trouble here. Oh dear. He's going to take a lot of damage. Has to knock up both Kups and Trevor and burn his flash. Especially at this point, he lost so much health when minions are already in the lane.
Yeah, it's to flash away because there was no escape coming there unless he burned that flash. Now Marky will be forced to miss a few CS here because Zencho and Kups will be zoning him away.
He's gonna miss at least 2 here, and man, that is pretty bad RNG for those minions. That minion charged backwards, so it is gonna delay the push in a little bit more. So Marky not in a very good spot right now. Shadow got caught.
Yeah, and we saw Archangel go for the similar strategy during game 1, but IPT read them like a book and actually avoided the trouble by not face-checking the bushes. But looks like for this game, the cheese strategy did pay off for Archangel. They get the flash burned by their Rakan. And what this does is it invites Rocks to visit the bot lane and try and find a catch onto Shadow with the Thresh.
Especially now that they're very behind, Zencho and Kups really want to push them in, apply the pressure, wait for rocks. Maybe they could get a very good dive here if Kups gets a good death sentence. Of course, here in top side, so farming game here between Ivalice and MJ. But Ivalice is pretty fearless here. He wants to push in MJ a lot, and he's very confident that he won't die.
I don't think anything's gonna happen top lane
pretty much
at all for the entirety of the game until they actually group up with their teams.
Ooh,
unless one of them misplays heavily, there's no way that both these tanks could actually kill each other. So Hook will land onto Shadow. Just the death sentence, so not much value taken from that Hook.
Just a little bit of poke damage there, but of course Shadow is going to regen that pretty quickly as the Biscuit has a potion still. But they are getting pressured really, really hard here. They might need a little bit of help here from Hate, but he really wants to get those scuttles, get to level 6 as fast as possible to get the most potent gank he can.
Yeah, you definitely want to be level 6 first on the Skarner before you go for that first gank of the game. Makes it a ton easier, especially this early. Nobody's gonna first buy QSS if you're Archangel. That delays your damage quite a bit. And looking at their team, they need to snowball. They want to get ahead here so that during the mid game, there is going to be no answer from IPT.
Has to be absolutely careful how they play these next few minutes here. It's going to be crucial because right now Hate is around a bot side. Doesn't see him much right now, but Ivalice is going to get ganked here. Gonna get a gank here coming from his jungler. They might go for a really big dive here onto MJ. Taking a lot of damage. Has to be careful. Gets the first blood actually, and Rocks gets away with a sliver of health, and MJ He's feeling pretty confident after that.
Okay, so Archangel tried to make the play work onto MJ, but he played it super patiently, using the searing charge.
Might be going for a fight here. Does not knock up Zensho. Has to break off the fight right there. Hates around the corner, but I don't think he can actually make something happen.
Yeah, he's just gonna pass by. Still a jungler top lane, so I'm just gonna invade the bot side jungle. Pretty smart move by Hate. He does have to be careful though, because I don't think his team can support him if he gets caught out here.
Yeah, they don't have priority just yet. Other than in mid, Light's pushing Trevor quite a bit in. Now that he has his death mark. Ooh, Hate just flashes over. Does not want to run into Zensho and Kups. A pretty safe play right there, but does burn his flash. MJ might be in a little bit of trouble here. Ivalice is going to go right on him. MJ goes for the head, but to try and escape. But this is going to be painful. Ivalice does not get the finishing blow.
I would have flashed for that. I think Ivalice would have dealt enough damage, but still, I think he's pretty happy that he will force MJ out of lane.
Rocks here, gonna try and go for something against Light. Actually, he does not have his death mark just yet, and he has to run away. He still has his flash, has to dodge the sleepy trouble bubble here and flash over the wall. Is safe, and just relieves a lot of pressure here that is being applied on Trevor.
And just a bunch of flashes burned here by both solo laners of IPT. Not much is gonna come into effect until Archangel can actually find the punish. Those flashes burned will be just be fine for IPT.
That could be dangerous, but of course, could be a little poke here onto Shadow. Not just a lot. Rocks might go for rotation down their bot, but seems like he has other problems. Just clear his camps here. Could be dangerous if Marky gets caught.
Oh, decent prediction right there, just out of range, but he was pointing the death sentence in the proper direction.
Just one pixel away right there. Could be very close, but I don't think it could amount to a dive. Zensho is pretty much out of mana at this point, so has to back away. Has to go for his first back here.
Yeah, he's gonna buy Tear of the Goddess. Probably mana aggressive. No, he only has enough gold for that tier, so Zensho will be stacking that. Has the teleport to get back.
He does have the Sheen.
He actually bought the Sheen, so yeah, he has enough gold for both those mana items. Ezreal gonna hit a bit of a power spike here, but talking about Ezreal's power spikes, the moment he spikes is really at 2 items. Once he completes his Muramana and a possible Trinity Force, that's when Zensho is super strong on this Ezreal, and that's when Archangel wants to start looking for more fights.
Yeah, definitely. OMJ caught behind enemy lines. He's looking for the blast cone to save him, but it seems like he gets denied here by Rocks, and now Hate's gonna try and help him out by calling the Forge God. Will it be enough? Does not get the headbutt to knock them up, but however, is gonna be a 1-for-1 still, but Light is gonna help them out. Rocks quick draws away. And the death mark does not deal a substantial amount of damage, but now Trevor is caught between 2 members because Kups is here for the assist. Light has shields, but it's not enough. Death sentence locks him down. Shadow is left alone, and Hate is gonna get taken down by Trevor on the wayside.
Yeah, Archangel wins that skirmish in the jungle, initially from the catch onto MJ. He wasn't able to blast cone over the wall for that disengage since the Singe canceled the animation, I believe, with the fling. So that was a very interesting interaction right there. And man, Archangel with the response as well. I like how Cooks roamed all the way towards that fight just from the base.
Really paid off. Gave them even more of a numbers advantage there. And IPT had a lot of trouble getting out of that fight. Especially MJ. Tried to clear that ward there. Was not very wise. And now here, since Shadow can't respond top side, Marky might be in trouble here, getting dove here by Kups and Zensho, taking lots of damage. Death sentence does connect. The finishing blow is not taken by Zensho. Marky lives with a sliver of health.
Yeah, 1 HP right there onto Marky. Good use as well of the killer instinct, adding more shielding to help him survive. But I think Archangel hesitated there. They thought they dealt enough damage to take down Marky's Kaisa. He will survive. He does have teleport to get back into lane. Still good attempt there by Archangel. They did burn both of the summoners of Marky, but man, I really think they could have picked up the kill if none of them hesitated.
Light might be under attack here, but seems like Trevor just goes straight for the Spell Thief Ignite. But yeah, that bot side, Archangel really could have taken that down, but the shields just in time coming from Shadow really saved Marky there.
Yeah. Now things are sort of gonna reset here Like we mentioned, Archangel wants to start fighting once they hit the power spikes on their primary carries. Once Trevor hits 1 to 2 items on the Zoe, once Zensho gets his tier fully stacked.
He does get caught by the death sentence here. This is going to be 3-member Shadow. Not very fortunate here for Hate, and this does give up the Cloud Drake.
It's a lot of damage actually. Hate once again getting caught out. Was he sitting on a ward, or did Coop see him?
Yeah, Coop just saw him
into that bush. So that's a great read by Archangel support. Like you mentioned, the Cloud Drake will be given up here. No jungler, no chances for a steal.
And it seems like Light's still going to try and pay back some damage here against Ivalice. Misses the Shuriken, but now he's asleep. Trevor might go in here. Collateral damage finishes him off with Zensho trying to go for a kill secure there. But the important thing here is Archangel gets so much pressure mid lane, takes down this turret. First turret of the game. Gonna get even more. MJ does not have a means of escaping here. No blast going around this area. He does have the shield from his Bellows Breath, but it's not enough against 3 members possibly, but does get away. The threat of Hate there, actually jumping in onto Rocks there. Actually onto Trevor there. It seems like they take them down 1 for 1.
Yeah, so much commitment just to take down Trevor, so at least they got something back. But man, look at the placement. During that previous, Trevor actually placed the bubble onto the Deathmark Shadow that Light initially set down. So that was a really nice play from him. Means that the Zed had no escape. And his style points from Rocks with their collateral damage to execute him.
Both options there would have been pretty bad, but of course, IPT gets a little bit in return there. Archangel does not get the first tier of the game, even though they had a little bit of a chance there. IPT defends that.
And now we're moving 11 minutes into this game. The Manamune is already completed onto Zensho, so we will be stacking that up. Very happy about that. Whereas Marky, looking at his items, only has the Berserker Greaves, not even a Recurve Boar or Pickaxe. Nothing that looks like a Ginsu's Rage Blade is on this Kaisa, so it'll take a lot more time for Marky to go online as MJ is being shot right here.
Is going to try and take down MJ. This time, Ivalice has a good flank. Now MJ has nowhere to escape. He does not have his flash. And no teammates to support him, just easily gets taken down.
No flashes on this Ornn. Why are you face checking a bush? If you don't see the enemy jungler on the map, you have to assume that he's near you. You have to respect the fact that Rocks is looming. He's currently 5-0-2 on this Graves. 100% kill participation. Really showing off why Graves is the strongest jungler.
It just has so much damage, and with teammates that can bring the CC to him, that's going to bring a lot of pressure. And now, once again, IPT gives up another objective here from a death, and this is going to be the Rift Herald. Going to be very useful here. Archangel might get first start of the game, so that's just even more gold in their pockets.
Yeah, and looking back to face checks from IPT have really set them back here. First start going over to Ivalice on this Singe. It's going to be super annoying to deal with him in that long lane where the #1 rule in the league, you don't chase Singe.
Yeah.
How do you stop him if you don't chase him down and kill him?
And that's pretty much a situation where you can't really try and deal with a Singe because it's way too dangerous. It gives up so much pressure to the rest of the map, but you have no choice but to try and respond to it. Trevor and Coops might be going for a dive here onto Marky and Shadow, but they did get detected by a ward before they put down their control ward. So this might possibly just be a very clean turret takedown by Archangel.
Yeah, they're sending a lot of members to brute force this tower in the bot lane, adding their Rift Herald as well. Means that they will definitely take this tower. There's 5 members strong. They really want to make use of this Rift Herald here. See, the Rift Herald hasn't had the HP reduced yet, so the next time
it's going to be huge damage on the second tier.
It's going to be massive damage onto this tower. Look at this. 5 members strong.
Needs to brace for impact here. Archangel want this turret very hard. Bellows is going to be the call. The Forge got to try and push them away just to clear that wave and take down a little bit on that Rift Herald HP. But Marky took a lot of damage trying to defend that. Hate tries to go for an Impale. Actually goes straight for it. Takes down Ivalice. But now Shadow might pay the price here. Collateral damage pushes Hate in such a deep territory of HP.
Oh no!
Here. Oh no, Light gonna try and go for Zensho here. He actually succeeds, but going back to that Shadow will not be an option. Has to take the back door here. Oh, actually goes back and gets taken down by Rocks.
What?
That's actually Quite unfortunate for him there. I think he could have escaped just by walking backwards because his team can't cover him in the back.
Yeah, he was walking towards a different base, so I really questioned why he decided to go back. Archangel though, they made the play. They wanted to get both towers in the bot lane. They actually take them down. The only way IPT were gonna stop that was if they were able to find a fight. They used everything. They used their Rakan ultimate, the Impale, the Call of the Forest God. They really tried to force that team fight. They did pick up a few kills, but in the end, they still lost both their towers.
Both their towers and a few of their teammates' lives as well. So Archangel, I think, is pretty worth it for them, even if they've lost one of their members.
Yeah, and this is a scary thing. If you're IPT, you're facing a poke comp from Archangel. The siege setup for Archangel is both Trevor and Zencho are just gonna poke with their skill shots. Then Rox is the wave clear, right? So they're just gonna push forward over and over. The only way that IPT can stop this is if they look for a fight. But if they look for a fight from a point where they're behind in gold, there's the discrepancy.
Oh man, Hate might be a little bit of trouble here. Death Sentence is definitely gonna put him into execution range. Archangel gets another pick off against Hate. They can't quite get Baron yet because it hasn't spawned, but they can go for this mid lane turret. And IPT, they're in such a predicament here because a lot of the ways they can engage onto Archangel is based on them getting high move speed, dashing onto a member, and then take him down with like a charm or an impale. But since Archangel is quite mobile in some of their carries here, like the Arcane Shift, and the Call of the Forge God can even be dodged by the ultimate coming here from Trevor. So they have very narrow instances where they can actually engage, especially that they're behind 7k gold.
Yeah, I think also Hate, with the pickoffs he's been giving Archangel, the starter has not given them the highest value for this game. Yeah, but seeing the Impale actually get them anything aside from just the start of fight. In the end, he still goes down.
Yeah, and so far, every time he runs in, he just gets CC'd. And then even though he gets the Impale, he just gets taken down so quickly.
Yeah, definitely a tough spot here for IPT. They still have ways to force fights against Archangel, so that's one positive moving forward. If they find a good engage, they can push Archangel back. But it's still a matter of whether or not Archangel gives them the opportunity to.
And Rox is such a huge threat here. They have to be careful. If they make a play and go for an engage, Rox has to be taken down because Zencho, even though he has his Manamune and his Strike Force, he's not as huge of a threat as Rox here with 6 kills and 3 assists. And he's quite beefy as well with HP and the armor from his items.
I think regardless, everyone on Archangel right now, especially the damage dealers, are massive threats. They are hitting their power spikes. As for IPT, looking at their items, Yomu's Ghost Veil and Zed, just against his Rage Blade on the Kaisa. It's not enough to match the two items.
They're gonna try and go here, but Hate once again gets CC'd. Almost gets taken down. Collateral damage almost takes him down. Shadow pays for it with his life. MJ gonna try and run away. Bellows Breath, a little shield here, but Light tries and go for a play, but gets taken down as well. Ivalice doing so much damage, gets Lantern out. And now MJ and Marky forced to defend this. Trevor jumps in so hard, actually dies for it, but Zencho gonna try and go for something here, but he just has to push this minion wave.
Yeah, Trevor goes down, but I think the damage has been done. The Zed is gone from the map. No more threat onto Archangel. He's just gonna take down this tower, possibly an inhibitor. The death timers are still short. It's only 18 minutes into this game. Archangel are already knocking down inhibitors. That's how far ahead they are. It looks like they're gonna go for more.
Once again, Ivalice is gonna go for Shadow. Shadow can dance away from that, but it's not going to save this inhibitor. Hate is gonna be responding here along with Light, but already Archangel get out of dodge.
Yeah, they're gonna back off here. Gonna respect the death timers. They were fairly short. It's only 18 minutes into the game, but still, inhibitor going down means that Archangel can now look at the other lanes. They can put Ivalice in another side, and the 4 members go up to the other one. It's gonna put so much pressure onto IPT.
IPT is just gonna slowly choke here if Archangel pushes him like this. And the thing is, this is a way faster paced game than we had earlier. And this is because Archangel, they know that IPT is still showing those mistakes, those weaknesses that they had in game 1, and they're still jumping on them consistently. Archangel still going for that. They know they don't need to adjust anything because IPT hasn't changed how they play in this game.
Yeah, and if you're wondering why IPT is facing a deficit like this early into the game, it's the pickoffs given up by Hate in the jungle. If you're running a comp with a Skarner, you need to find picks around that Impale. They haven't gotten the maximum value from Hate Skarner in this game. They haven't been able to set up plays. They haven't been able to make the proactive moves. Whereas Archangel, they've been constantly finding all of these fights, all of these pickoffs. That's why they are ahead, and that's why they are controlling this game. Now they're posturing around the top side of the map. Everyone will be knocking on this tower. Did you have a Mountain Jake to help them take this down even quicker?
They do have that Triforce as well, so there's just so much damage here coming from Zensho, and that's just going to extend their lead even more, not just in terms of gold, but also in how they control the territories around this map.
And there's not even a single response from IPT. There's just nothing they could do to answer what Archangel is doing.
It's just way too difficult at this point. Even if MJ gets, say, a good call of the Forge God, the rest of IPT's follow-up engages involve them running at Archangel, and Archangel is so good at responding for that with damage. Ivalice could pay for this, but there's going to be so many resources here. As they take down Ivalice, it's going to take them a while. He is a tank, however, they've already taken Baron while they were killing Ivalice.
That was probably the only play that IPT had, since Ivalice is way too pushed up. But he's saying worth right now because he'd happily give up his life for the Baron. And it gives Arcade so much more control in this game, as if they didn't have any. Now they're gonna try and knock down more inhibitors in IPT's
Archangel
base.
gonna go and crash the party here in IPT's base. As soon as they regroup, as soon as they recall, they can try and go for a play with the super minions still pushing in this mid lane here. They can still go for so much in these side lanes.
Yeah, and a bunch of items being picked up here by Archangel after their reset. QSS is now complete onto Zensho, so he's not under any threat of that impale from the Skarner. Still no Zonya's Hourglass onto Trevor. He does have components for it though, so he has a bit more armor to try and survive the burst of light. Now Archangel, they're going to set up their siege here and try and poke at IPT. Like I mentioned, the question is for IPT, can they find that engage? Can they find the turnaround in this game? They have the tools to do so, but it's going to take a monumental effort if they want to find that comeback.
They need such a good opening, and Archangel's not giving it to them. Just very safely, they're relying more on the minions. Ival is going to try and push them away from the
zone.
The threat of that poison trail and that fling is just way too much. IPT can't get a read on where to strike.
See, Archangel don't even have to fight here. All they need to do is poke at IPT, use Cinch to zone them away, and just look at the buildings, take down the towers. There's no reason for us to take a team fight against you because we know that you yourself aren't confident enough to go for the fight.
Yeah, with 12k gold ahead and that zoning Singe, they can just slowly choke out IPT here. They need to make a play here. Oh, but the headbutt doesn't get the call of the Forge God back. MJ has a headbutt away, and now IPT is such in a bad position. Shadow gonna try and go for an engage, but gets taken down almost immediately. No engage here for IPT, and Archangel at 23 minutes. They're gonna take game 2 of this series.
Yeah, this is game over.
Oh my days.
I will KDA a bit more, but that's GG to Archangel.
Wow.
They go up 2-0 in the best of 5.
That is just absolutely stunning performance here from Archangel, but for IPT, they've been fumbling so much, giving away so much free resources and objectives to Archangel.
Well, I think when they first picked the Skarner during the pick and ban phase, they were already digging their grave. Why are you putting so much priority on a jungler that's out of meta?
It's not even S tier, not even A tier, I think.
And if you pick him, you aren't making plays around him. He wasn't ahead at any point of the game. So essentially, pick and ban phase, you're already burying yourselves. I'm not surprised that Archangel won in 23 minutes.
Yeah, and the thing is, as I said, a lot of their engage is based on them running up to Archangel.
Yeah.
But in the process of them running up to get their engage, say, with the quickness from Shadow, with the Impale, at the point where they actually get to their targets, they're already dead. And that just gives so much space for Zensho and Trevor to just mow them down.
Yeah, and we did say game 1 was the feeling out process. Game 2 was when the adjustments had to be made. It looks like more adjustments need to be asked from IPT, because whatever adjustments they brought into the second game, it didn't work out for them. In fact, it made things worse for them as they were ended in 23 minutes. Now, Archangel are up a dominant 2-0 in this best of 5. It's match point for them. Will we see a possible comeback, a possible game 4, or even a reverse sweep from IPT? Who knows?
Yeah, it's going to be a very tall order here for IPT. They need to give all their effort and their brains into their draft, into the way to execute their strategies, because right now they're in a very dangerous situation. Of course, this is the match for the final spot for the national qualifier, so it's all or nothing here. They have to give it their all.
Yeah, I guess who will join Mineski TNC and Barcy Esports in that promotion, in the national qualifiers, is just up in the air at this point.
Yeah, definitely. IPT has a lot on their plate right now that they have to deal with, but of course, let's see how they deal with that in Game 3. The next game, well, we'll be casting. We've been your shoutcasters. I'm Atlas. With me is Chisto, and we'll be seeing you after a short break. Forge got to try and push them away, just clear that wave and take down a little bit of that Rift Herald HP, but Marky took a lot of damage trying to defend that. Hey, tries to go for an Impale, actually goes straight for it, takes down Ivalis, but now Shadow might pay the price here. Collateral damage pushes Hate in such a deep territory of HP here. Oh no, Light. Gonna try and go for Zensho here. He actually succeeds, but going back to that Shadow will not be an option. Has to get the back almost gets taken down. Collateral damage almost takes him down. Shadow pays for it with his life. MJ gonna try and run away. Bellows Breath, a little shield here, but Light tries to go for a play, but gets taken down as well. Ival is doing so much damage, gets Lantern out. And now MJ and Marky forced to defend this. Trevor jumps in so hard, actually dies for it, but Zensho gonna try and go for something here, but he just has to push his minion away.
Yeah, Trevor goes down, but I think the damage has been done. The Zed is gone from the map. No more threats on the ARK.
Slowly choke on IPT here. They need to make a play here. Oh, but the headbutt doesn't get the call before it got back. MJ has a headbutt away. And now IPT is such in a bad position. Shadow gonna try and go for an engage, but gets taken down almost immediately. No engage here for IPT, and Archangel at 23 minutes. They're going to take game 2 of this series.
Yeah, this is game over.
Oh my days.
I will KDA a bit more, but that's GG to Archangel.
Wow.
They go up 2-0 in the best of 5.